Welcome back to Onsite Public Media's No Cap Recap, where we tell you what happened.
And we don't do no capping. I am Serious Marie.
And I'm Brandon Lee. Thank you for joining us again today. Obviously, it's been a big week. We have the trial for Derek Chauvin has started.
And you know, some things that we've seen so far with the jury selection, one of the jurors got chopped because apparently she was unintelligent because she spoke more than one language and her English was a little bit broken.
She was bilingual and English was her second language, and they say she wasn't sophisticated.
She knows twice as many words as you do.
Also, on top of that, the third-degree murder charge was reinstated. So that's another big thing that has happened. But the thing that we want to focus on just recently happened was the $27 million settlement that was agreed upon by the Minneapolis City Council that will be paid to the family of George Floyd. This breaks the previous record for the $20 million settlement that Justine DeMond, a white woman who was killed by a black police officer, received in 2019.
I think it's also worth mentioning that her family got that settlement after the criminal suit.
Yeah, so they asked for $50 million originally, and then they said that they were going to wait for the trial to conclude, and then they would re-talk about the settlement. And 3 days after the verdict, after he was convicted, they settled for $20 million.
And I guess with Breonna Taylor's case is what I immediately think of, because her family got the civil suit where the city said, okay, there was some wrongful death, and then immediately after, almost the officer really didn't get convicted. So
didn't even get charged.
If we're seeing and noticing a pattern, that's just the pattern that I noticed.
And taking it back to 2019 when they settled for Justine DeMond, we'll talk about some of the quotes that they had in that and see how those sound in the current political climate. So what did Lisa Bender say?
Lisa don't know which way to Bender said, "We know that no amount of money can heal the pain that the family or any family that has lost a loved one in this way. It is our continued commitment to work together with our community to demand and support change to policing."
To support change to policing. That was in 2019. And in 2019, Mayor Fry said, "This is not a victory for anyone, but rather a way for our city to move forward. And I do believe that we will move forward together, united in the shared belief that such a tragedy should never occur in this city." That was 2019.
And now
if we look at 2020, shortly after, less than a year, you have one of your officers kneeling on a black man's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, but you just said that we were going to support change to policing and that a tragedy like that should never occur in your city.
And not to mention the other three that were just standing there like blind mice.
So now, if we fast forward to Mayor Fry's statement about the most recent settlement, he said, "This past year has dramatically shifted our city's trajectory, and today marks another milestone in shaping a more just future for Minneapolis. Our settlement with George Floyd family reflects a shared commitment to advancing racial justice and a sustained push for progress."
I think Jacob needs a fry because you're not yourself when you're hungry. I think he needs a fry.
Oh, get that boy a Snickers.
Get him something.
So we continue to hear them say this, basically push the same rhetoric. Yeah, this shouldn't happen. No, this shouldn't happen. Now that it wasn't.
So what are you doing to make it stop it from happening? What are you doing? Nothing.
And we say that because since 2003, with the addition of George Floyd's settlement, the Minneapolis City Council has paid $71 million in settlements for police misconduct. $71 million since 2003. That's roughly like $4 million a year.
$71 million in damage control.
If you are one of those intelligent individuals who blindly supports the police and backs the blue and stands behind the thin blue line, that $4 million a year, you're okay with that. You're supporting that. You say that that's good policing.
Signing the check.
Y'all better
give me my money.
Give us the money. If y'all support it that much, pay up. Those are your watchdogs, your crime rats roaming the streets.
Don't talk about it, be about it. So, guys, just want to inform you, we're not gonna sip blindly out of this cup of only all cream Joe, you know what I mean? That is our president right now, because we don't involve ourselves in code behavior if you're doing messed up stuff. We're just gonna say that. I don't think that either one of us have a problem with that.
Nah, if our president or if any elected official is doing some we are not gonna sit by and say, I support them 100%. No.
Where's the light? I'll shine it.
Yeah, like I'm not going to idolize an elected official and say they can do no wrong. I'm gonna call you out on your bull, Joe.
Straight like that.
Straight like that, you heard me? So, the first headline that we saw this week, there's a record high number of kids in cages at the border.
What a surprise!
Record high number. Now, I would love to have a president that doesn't support putting kids in cages. I don't care who you are.
And not even only because Joe Biden can say that out loud. Like, yeah, I support DACA and all of that. But if you're the president, and between the times you've been president, from January until March, now we have a record number of children in these places, you're really not, you're just running your mouth at this point.
Mm-hmm. And yes, there has been some, there's been an influx of kids because of different reasons like hurricanes and other natural disasters, but putting kids in cages, where do we do that? Who does that? What type of moral person does that?
And if America was built on immigration, like people coming from one place to another because of their situation and needing to find somewhere where they can prosper. Why isn't America on the bandwagon of that? Because that's what we were kind of built on. Be it that it was, really bad and they were colonizing and they were, pillaging and everything. But if you want to stick with that logic, like, hey, well, we were in a bad situation, we wanted to go somewhere else. What's wrong with these people trying to come here somewhere and get salvation? And let's not even talk about Ted Cruz. Talking about,
he fled to Mexico. Boy, fled to Mexico. So
you're saying
fully understands.
Because your kids were not satisfied, that it's okay for you to go to another place to give them what they need.
See, and the funny thing is, you know how many times we hear, if you don't like it, leave. So y'all understand what
so
immigration
you didn't like
is.
It and you
y'all understand what immigration is, right?
And you
so
left.
these people, these immigrants didn't like it, so they left. They trying to come here. So let them come. God, it's not that hard. Moving on. Joe Biden, first 100 days in office, said that he wasn't going to deport anybody. Go ahead. What are we at?
And so, he really can't change anything because Trump's appointed judges are like, no, because obviously they're on his side.
But he's the president, and we are now at 25 to 35,000 estimated deportations.
Just from January to March, right now.
You, Joe Biden.
We would love to have a president that wasn't a war criminal.
That's all we want.
I'd love, not all, but it is important.
We do not need a president dropping bombs. If you can sit here and explain to me in about three sentences why we are in the Middle East, why we're dropping bombs, why we are still over there.
As good of a song as it is, we do not need bombs over Baghdad.
And he called in one strike. He actually called off a second because he got last second intel that there was women and children in the area, right? So you are putting these innocent people's lives in danger for what? To just show that you have the military might to do so?
And then globalization, industrialization, imperialism, and the issue that we have in America with it. I don't think that we know enough about foreign relations and as Americans learn enough about worldly issues and stuff like that. It's very self-centered. So it doesn't surprise me, but that would be like a whole segment for a whole other day talking about war in relationship. Mm-hmm. But we would love to have a president that does not subscribe to those notions. But that's asking for a lot.
Apparently.
From Americans.
Also, this past week, Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson said that he didn't fear for his safety at all during the January 6th attack on the Capitol, but he would have had they been Black Lives Matter protesters or Antifa.
Right, because Black Lives Matter gets met with hella cops and National Guard because they show up with marshals and water and sound trucks. But then when you look at the insurrection, 5 people died. Somebody went in there with handcuffs, flex cuffs, really.
They had the gallows.
Guns,
they had the gallows.
beating police officers.
Hang Mike Pence. Hang Mike Pence, and y'all not scared for your life.
These are the chants that y'all are met with. These people are throwing down fences and beating up officers, breaking into the Capitol.
Rubbing on the walls.
Literally showing their.
But you're gonna be scared if people are out there fighting for their lives saying, please don't kill us, police. That's what you're afraid of. That's what, okay. Just say.
Say you're racist. We don't need all
Tell
that.
me you're racist without telling me you're racist.
I would have been scared of the black people, but not the whites.
Not the what?
Not the whites.
Not the whites.
And so for this week's cap of the week, we have Matt Rowan, a high school sports commentator from Oklahoma who was commentating on a girls' basketball game, and he was caught on a hot mic while the national anthem was playing. The girls' basketball team, one of them decided that they were going to kneel and, demonstrate as they should.
First Amendment.
And what he said was they're kneeling. I hope Norman, which is the name of the school, gets their ass kicked. Them. I hope they lose. That's what he said.
That's what he said on the hot mic, right? And after the incident, it went viral, it made its rounds. He put out a statement. And I'll read his statement for you. He says, I will state that I suffer type 1 diabetes, and during the game my sugar was spiking. While not excusing my remarks, it is not unusual when my sugar spikes that I become disoriented and often say things that are not appropriate as well as harmful. Serious Marie, are you okay?
No, because that's what we're not gonna do. That's what we're not gonna do. No.
What? Diabetes? That doesn't give you an excuse for racism?
Just say that you don't like black people. You can't say and say, oh, I didn't mean to say that. That was just my diabetes.
My sugar spiking. So you're telling me that you just came up with words that aren't in your regular vocabulary. You gotta say some that you normally say. That you didn't just pull out of nowhere.
Out your out of your, you pulled that out your glucose?
Or the insulin.
Somebody give him a pump. Somebody give him a pump.
For you to claim that that's not who you are as a person, but it's also taking, you say that while people are kneeling for black issues, and you say, it's plenty of
not
people.
Not even like them.
Yeah, not said. Say, oh, I don't support what they're doing. Oh, they're stupid. Oh, they're fucking idiots.
On a mic?
They're idiots. No, you said, and I know you're hearing us bleep these words out. I'm gonna tell you that word starts with an N. Okay?
With a hard R.
ERS.
Oh yeah.
I need to find a good excuse for when I be calling.
I have asthma. I couldn't breathe, and I had asthma, so
I said crackers. I didn't know what else to do.
I hate white people. I got asthma. I didn't know what else to say because I couldn't breathe. What is you talking about, bro? So, it's time, y'all.
That's how you feeling? That's how you feeling?
Okay. No cap quick fact.
Where we what?
Where we take the whitewashed facts.
And we put the color back.
Ew. Ew. All right, go ahead, pull that.
All right, what we got?
Cool.
You gonna read it?
Yeah. We got, this week, we have Wally Amos, who started Famous Amos Cookies. Wally Amos is an American TV personality. He is an entrepreneur. He's from Tallahassee, Florida. And he's the founder of the Famous Amos Cookies. He makes Cookie Kahuna as well as Aunt Della's cookies. Okay. And so I didn't know that he was black.
I didn't know that.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that he was black, but when I found out, I thought it was really cool. So I'm just gonna
give me some more cookies. Sure.
Some more of them Famous Amos. Chocolate chips.
Them joys got street cred now.
Ooh.
Hey.
Purr. Got the black man. We stand a good black entrepreneur. So go ahead and copy some of the Famous Amos cookies. Go ahead and get you some.
Thanks for coming in, tuning in again, y'all. Appreciate you guys for the love and support. You know,
Any questions, any comments, concerns, anything like that, anything you would like for us to talk about, go ahead and email us at onsitepublicmedia@gmail.com.
leave a comment below, DM either of us. My DM's open, lady. No, I'm playing.
Mine not.
But yeah, as always, this has been On-Site Public Media's No Cap Recap, where we always say,
No cap,
no cop.
no problem. And we will see y'all next week.